I'm in Trieste, Italy to drive the all-new C-Class convertible. And when I say all new, I mean all new. There's never been a C-Class convertible before. Mercedes has already announced that this car will be coming to India towards the end of the year. And currently it has no competition. Will that give it a bit of an advantage? Well, let's see. We have the car for the day and hopefully it won't start pouring down. Let's see what it's like. Mercedes says the new C-Class convertible visually exhibits an independence of character and a very sporty appeal. And truth be told, it's just about right. This car, apart from the nose, looks almost nothing like a C-Class. The snug roof makes it look purposeful, the flanks are tightly defined and sporty, and look at the car from the rear, and the rear splitter and those flared wheel arches give it plenty of individuality. The design in fact is so sporty, this car looks considerably shorter than the regular C-Class. But it isn't. The length and wheelbase in fact are the same. What's different however is that the roof is much lower and the boot at 285 litres is much smaller too. On the inside, it's very recognizable as a C-Class, but you do get a few special bits like this black lacquered center console and the special leather that doesn't really heat up in the sun. There's also the hood controls here, the electronic hood, and the new air cap system. A spoiler on top of the windscreen rises so that the airflow goes over even the rear seat passengers. Pretty smart. Merc has gone through a lot of effort to make sure your hair stays in place. Yes, active aero has been used before on supercars, but here we see a more practical use. And the best bit is there's no buffeting in the cabin, even when you drive a bit quick. The Merc's signature tough as a tank build may now be gone, probably forever, but the insanely high levels of fit, finish and quality still remain. This is still a cabin you want to endlessly touch and feel, and the deep pile seats on this car are so comfortable and supportive, you just seem to enjoy the sensation of being sat here. The C-Class Cabrio, however, is clearly a 2+2, and by that we mean the rear seats are less comfortable than those up front. Comfort in the back is pretty decent. You can sit here for around an hour or so. There's a good amount of leg room. The air cap system pushes the airflow over your head, but the backrest is a bit too vertical and that limits how comfortable you can be and for how long. Setting off at regular speeds in the C-Class convertible seems vaguely familiar. You're sat a bit lower and someone seems to have blown the roof off. The C-Class DNA otherwise is definitely here. Take off in a relaxed manner and the engine and gearbox allow you to purr along quite effortlessly. There's an attractive elasticity to the manner in which the engine and gearbox work together, and putting your foot down pretty much at any speed is met with enough enthusiasm to keep you entertained. The petrol engine that will come to India is a 300. It's a 2-litre turbocharged direct injection petrol unit, and combined with this 9-speed gearbox, it gives it just enough punch to keep it entertaining. So you flick down the gearbox, put your foot down, it pulls well around 6,200 RPM. You really can enjoy yourself quite a bit. This car, after all, does have 245 horsepower under the hood. And with a claimed 0 to 100 time of 6.4 seconds, it's pretty quick too. What's also reasonably entertaining is the handling. Now the C-Class convertible isn't really a sports car, but it does have enough agility so you can enjoy the road. So that when you put your foot down and you want to turn into those corners, it does have enough bite. This is especially true when you select the stiffest suspension setting. Now body control is fairly good and you can guide the car from corner to corner in a nice fluid manner, carrying plenty of speed. What's also nice is you can really lean on the brakes and scrub off speed when you need to. What lets the side down, however, is the steering. The steering isn't very feelsome or direct, but there's enough agility here to keep you entertained. And then there's the fact that lopping off the roof, however, does come with some penalties. Now the problem with most convertibles is that you get something called scuttle shake, where the body flexes. This is because there's no roof to hold the body firmly in place. And on this car, yes, there is a bit of scuttle shake, there is some amount of it. You do feel the flexing, especially over bad roads and when you're cornering the car hard. But overall, it really is much improved and much better than cars we had in the past, even cars 5 or 10 years ago. What's really well sorted, however, is the ride. I expected some amount of stiffness and expected the suspension to crash through a few potholes, but the C Cabrio just seemed to float over all manner of sections with the suppleness of an E-Class. Now a car like this has to have a comfortable ride, and Merc has done an absolutely stunning job here. The suspension is very absorbent. Even over rough bits like this, the suspension works silently and it's really supple and nice, so you can drive over it without the being tossed around or jerked around too much. But I guess this is a Mercedes and it's only fitting that it rides like one. And yes, before you ask, the roads we were driving on in Italy and Slovenia had plenty of bad patches, some even as bad as those we have here. Something that adds to the luxury and comfort, especially on a cold day, is the air scarf system. It's a pretty cold day, it's around 14 degrees outside, and when you start moving faster, you really do get a chill. So what I'm using here is this thing called air scarf, where hot air is blown onto my neck from the back, so it keeps you warm like a scarf. So a little bit of comfort so you can keep the top open for longer. A nice touch. When Mercedes launched the new C-Class convertible in India, it'll bring a fun fact to the segment that wasn't there earlier. The car looks just gorgeous with the tapering lines and the flared rear. The soft top is one of the best in the business. It comes straight from the S-Class, so you know you're getting the best. The ride is pretty good, it's pretty comfortable. The C300 engine, the turbocharged petrol engine, it's got a decent amount of grunt, it's fun to drive. So all in all, it's a good package. The only fly in the ointment is likely to be the expected 65 lakh price tag. Yes, I know that's a lot of money. It's a big jump from the regular C-Class, but you also do get a lot of car for that money. This car really does feel a bit special.